Hello and welcome back to ET Auto. Last month, we drove the facelift of the Tata Punch ICE with the new petrol turbo and the CNG automatic. Today, we're in Kochi driving the facelift of the Tata Punch EV. Let's see what it has to offer. Let's talk about the biggest visual difference, which is in the front of the car. So in the older Punch EV, this grille was in two parts. There was also a design running around here, which was merging in with the headlamps. Now it's a very seamless bumper design and there's only this opening here. Now what this does is, this differentiates the front design of the Punch EV facelift from the Punch ICE facelift. Also, the old Punch EV had this light bar which has now been eliminated. Now if I talk about the side profile of the car, not much has changed in terms of design compared to the old Punch EV. The design of the alloy wheels and the size remains the same. Two tiny differences here. Instead of EV badge, you now have a Tata EV badge, and if you notice, the plastic cladding around, which used to be black, is now a lighter shade of grey. This is to differentiate Punch EV from the Punch ICE. The rear of the Punch EV facelift is completely different from the old Punch EV, but is exactly similar to the Punch ICE facelift. The boot space also remains unchanged. We're inside driving the new Punch EV, and it is now being offered with a 30 kWh battery pack and a 40 kWh battery pack compared to the older 25 and 35 kWh battery packs. This 40 kWh variant that we are driving produces 127 horsepower and almost 154 Newton meters of torque. The battery capacity in the new Tata Punch EV has grown from the earlier 25 kWh and 35 kWh packs to the newer, larger 30 kWh and 40 kWh packs. Tata Motors was able to achieve this by using prismatic cells instead of the traditional cylindrical cells. Now, more cells could be packed into the same battery pack space. Tata Motors is also offering a lifetime battery pack warranty for the 40 kWh battery pack and 8 years of warranty extendable up to 2 years for the 30 kWh battery pack. The company is also using a 6-in-1 drive unit now, where components like the e-motor, reduction gear, DC to DC converter and onboard charger are now integrated, which results in better efficiency. Fewer parts means less complexity and lower manufacturing costs. This has also resulted in a significant weight drop compared to the older model by 50 odd kilograms. There are 3 driving modes here. Car by default stays in the city mode, and then you have an eco mode and a sport mode. In eco mode, the power decreases a bit compared to the city mode, and in the sport mode, you have the maximum amount of power. In each of these driving modes, we've also got 3 levels of regen, L1, L2 and L3, with the most amount of regen happening in L3. Now compared to the facelift of the Punch ICE that we drove last month, the color of interiors here is different. It is a light shade of grey. There it was black. The corners of the 10.25-inch infotainment display are rounded here, and there's also a 10.25-inch instrument cluster compared to the 7-inch one in the Punch ICE. We've also got ventilated seats here, which we do not get in the Punch ICE. Ventilated seats is such a nice feature to have in our weather, and I absolutely love it. This central panel, which was introduced in the old Punch EV and made its way to the Punch ICE facelift, continues to be here in the new Punch EV. USB Type A, 65 watt Type C and a 12 volt socket here. This drive mode selector. There's one thing I'd like to mention, that in the old Punch EV, I experienced a bit of a lag here in the drive mode selector, which is not the case here. It could have been with the older vehicle, that particular vehicle, but no as such of a lag here. Also, one small difference compared to the Punch ICE is that the center armrest doesn't slide, it only opens. There are also these new toggle style switches. In sport mode with regen off, the car is simply gliding. I absolutely love the feedback from the pedal. But the brakes don't inspire a lot of confidence. I mean, they are nice and progressive, but a little bite could have been better. But what's great is that under harsh braking, there is no nosedive, which brings me to the suspension and ride quality of the Punch EV. We were so impressed with the ride quality of the Punch ICE, and even with the additional battery weight here, The ride quality is amazing in the Punch EV as well. I really like how Tata has managed to tune the suspension and everything. It's one of the nicest setup in an EV. At low speeds, the suspension is plush and absorbs all the bumps and potholes really well. And at high speeds also, it performs really good and the car handles very good. When we started driving the car, it was at full 100% charge. Now, after driving it for almost 70 kilometers, it has come down to 72 kilometers. In this 70 kilometers of driving, we drove it in all the three modes, mostly into sport mode, and I used all the three levels of regen in all three modes. And for a long period of time, I was driving in the sport mode with regen completely off. So I can conclude that this can easily give around 300 kilometers of real world range. There are two really cool features that I absolutely love about the Punch EV. First is if you don't have the seat belt on, the car won't move. Second is if you have turned on the high beam at low city speeds, then after 60 seconds, you'll get a warning message. So with the Punch EV facelift now costing 1.5 lakh rupees lesser than the older model and an option to buy it with battery as a service where you only pay 6.5 lakh rupees upfront and so many other things going in its favor, it's not something that's difficult to recommend for us. We give it a big thumbs up if you're looking for an EV in a budget. You're watching ET Auto. Thank you.